let me share something fascinating that I've been thinking about a lot lately. You know, we often talk about how our homes shelter us from the elements, but they do so much more than that. They actually shape our emotional landscape in profound ways. It's incredible how the simplest design choices can dramatically affect our state of mind. Take natural light, for instance. Our ancestors evolved following the sun's rhythms, and when we live in spaces that deny us that connection, our entire circadian system gets thrown off balance. I've seen people's entire mood transform just by enlarging a window or repositioning their workspace to catch the morning light. But here's what really gets me excited: the concept of architectural empathy. You see, our homes aren't just containers, they're more like instruments that play our emotions. A ceiling height that's too low can literally make us feel compressed, while spaces that are too open can leave us feeling exposed and anxious. I've always found it remarkable how a well-placed alcove or a cozy reading nook can create this immediate sense of sanctuary. Think about the way sound travels in your home. Hard surfaces that echo can subconsciously keep us on edge, while soft materials that absorb sound can help our nervous system settle. I remember visiting a friend's house that was all polished concrete and glass, aesthetically stunning, but after an hour, I felt inexplicably tense. Our primitive brains are still wired to be on alert when we can't properly gauge the source of sounds. And color. We've barely scratched the surface of how different hues affect our brain chemistry. Blues and greens can lower blood pressure and heart rate. There's a reason hospital walls aren't painted bright red. But it's not just about picking the right colors, it's about creating rhythms and flows that match our natural patterns of movement and rest. Here's something that blows my mind: the concept of prospect and refuge in design. We feel most at ease in spaces that offer both a view of our surroundings and a sense of protection at our backs, just like our ancestors needed to survey their territory while staying safe from predators. That's why a comfortable chair in a corner with a view of the room and perhaps a window feels so inherently right. We're also profoundly affected by the textures around us. Smooth, cold surfaces might look modern and clean, but our brains are still yearning for the varied, natural textures our species evolved with. Adding elements like wooden surfaces, woven textiles, or even house plants can help ground us in our space and reduce stress levels. There's actual research backing this up. What really fascinates me is how personal this all is. A design that soothes one person might agitate another because we all carry different emotional and cultural associations. That's why I believe the future of home design isn't about following rigid rules, but about creating spaces that can flex and adapt to our emotional needs. The pandemic really brought this home for many of us, pun intended. When our homes suddenly had to serve as offices, gyms, schools, and sanctuaries, we realized just how much these spaces influence our mental health. It's not just about aesthetics or functionality, it's about creating environments that support our emotional well-being at a fundamental level. You know what's really revolutionary? The idea that we can actually design our way out of certain emotional challenges. Struggling with anxiety? Perhaps it's time to look at how your space might be contributing to that. Having trouble sleeping? The answer might lie in the way your bedroom is arranged rather than in a pill bottle. We're finally beginning to understand that our emotional well-being isn't just about what's happening in our heads, it's intimately connected to the spaces we inhabit. And that's incredibly empowering because it means we can actively design our environments to support the emotional states we want to cultivate. It's like being able to compose the soundtrack to your own life, but with space instead of music.